What up, Bucs fans, NFL fans, and gambling fans? Welcome to the regular season finale of Pewter Picks and Props, brought to you by PewterReport.com, where we will dive into the best player props for Bucs versus Saints, look at the line for that game, and look at some college football playoffs as well. I'm your host, Matt Matera. Very excited to talk about what could be a historic game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for two players individually. Obviously, we know one of them. You just saw it on the graphic, Mike Evans, and we'll talk plenty about Mike and another player as well. So typically I'll do some college football, some NFL, and then the Bucs game. This week, because it's week 18 and there's a lot of NFL teams that aren't playing their starters, some have nothing to play for. There's crazy lines like Ravens Browns is minus 20. So I'm going to stay away from the NFL this week and get back after it when the playoffs roll around next week. Just focus on the Bucs game. But I will start with the college football playoffs as we are in the Final Four. There's been some lopsided matchups, but a couple of good ones as well. Obviously, Texas and Arizona State comes to mind. That was a very exciting one. So let's start it off with Ohio State against Texas. This is the Cotton Bowl. I'm going to take Ohio State -6. This is really just because Ohio State has been bludgeoning people. Like, they dominated against Tennessee. They blew out Oregon in the first half. It was never even close. Texas will put up a better game than what they did against Arizona State. They have a good defense that should keep them in. But Texas does this weird thing on offense where, like, they'll explode early and then just not do anything for the rest of the game. That's kind of what it was against Arizona State. In the blink of an eye, they were up 14-3. I mean, they had the quick touchdown and then they had the punt return touchdown. And then they didn't do anything until crunch time and overtime. They can't afford to do that against Ohio State. They are just a team that is pissed off. Excuse me. Dying over here. They are a team that is pissed off ever since they lost to Michigan. They seem like a freight train just going through every single opponent in their path. So Ohio State -6 is the pick for that game. The other one taking place in Miami, I think it's the Orange Bowl, Penn State against Notre Dame. Two teams that are pretty similar in their style of play. So the line's pretty close, but I'll go with Penn State +2 against Notre Dame. I just think Penn State has a better offense with Drew Aller, with some of their weapons in the passing game, some solid running backs. Notre Dame's top running back is injured as well. Their quarterback can scramble and stuff, but if you have to force Notre Dame's quarterback to scramble, to throw it, I don't think that's really going to work. Two teams have great defenses. I kind of think that cancel each other's out. So it'll be close. But Penn State can make a couple of more plays in the passing game and the running game than Notre Dame can. So that's why I'm taking Penn State. I also like the under in this game because of everything with the defense. I think how Georgia Notre Dame went will essentially be what Penn State and Notre Dame is. I just have Penn State winning this time. I'm not saying like a strip sack, forced fumble with 30 seconds to go in the half, but something like that where it's a slugfest, a couple of splash plays that kind of gets the job done. I still think it'll be very entertaining, but not a high-scoring affair. So we'll get Ohio State and Penn State a rematch, but this time for the national championship. Still very excited for these games. They take place Thursday is Ohio State and Texas. Thursday is Penn State, Notre Dame. Friday is Ohio State and Texas. So nonetheless, going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get over to Bucs versus Saints. This is a huge game for a number of reasons. If the Bucs win, they are in, winning the NFC South Championship for the fourth year in a row and their fifth straight season going to the playoffs. You have Mike Evans, who needs 85 yards to eclipse 1,000 yards for the 11th straight season, which would extend his own record for most consecutive seasons to begin a career with 1,000 yards. And it would also put him in rarefied air, only with Jerry Rice, is the only players to have 11 consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards. So That's a huge, huge accomplishment, and Mike is 85 yards away. Will Mike get it? We shall see. But for the spread in this game, it's a high number. It's 2 touchdowns, 14 points. The over is 43.5. The Bucs have been high flying over the past month, really, on offense. They've been doing it all season on offense, if we're being real. But really, the past 3 games has been spectacular as well. At least 2 out of the last 3 games where they've scored 40 points or more, and I really don't see that slowing down at all, especially with the Saints defense just kind of withering away, older players, a lot of injuries, and they provide nothing on offense. So that's why, even though it's a big number at -14, I'm going to take the Bucs -14, the over 43.5. I mean, I truly feel that the Bucs may score 45 on their own. The only thing that can stop the Bucs is themselves. They had 3 turnovers the last time they went up against the Saints, and they still scored 51 points. They'll be able to run it against New Orleans. They'll be able to throw it. They might get Cade Otton back in this game, which would help. But regardless, the Bucs will be able to move the ball at will. So that's why I like the Bucs. That's why I really like the over 43.5, especially because Jamel Dean isn't playing for the Bucs at corner, so it's Josh Hayes. And as bad as the Saints have been, and I don't think they're going to score a lot, they might pick on Josh Hayes a little bit and just find a semblance of offense that'll help for the over. But I'll take Bucs -14 as well, because they know the task at hand. It's win the game, win the division, get Mike Evans 85 yards, which is why you knew I had to hammer it. The over of 104.5 receiving yards. That's very high for Mike Evans, but he's going to get the 85. He has to get the 85. There's no way the Bucs can win this game and Mike doesn't get 85 yards. They're going to pepper him the football. They're going to be smart about it. Liam Cohen's going to be smart about it. Baker will be very smart, but they will make sure Mike gets the ball. He'll get the 85, and then he'll sprinkle a little bit more on top because that's what he does. He is the GOAT when it comes to the Bucs. You knew I had to take this. Hammer Mike Evans and the over. Hammer Mike Evans over 6.5 catches as well. He needs 5 more catches to get a nice little payday bonus with incentives in his contract. And I think he'll get more than 5. Why stop at 5? I think he'll end up with at least 7. Might even get 10 catches in this game because I think the Bucs get out to a big lead and then they just continue to pepper Mike Evans and enjoy the greatness that is number 13, the GOAT, Mike Evans. So those are my 2 player props. My other player prop, again, another part of history. We know the history with Mike. We know the history with the team. But Baker Mayfield has a little bit of history as well that he can find his way into. So right now, Baker Mayfield has 39 passing touchdowns on the season. That puts Baker 3rd all-time for the Bucs single-season passing touchdowns. Number 1 is Tom Brady at 43. Number 2 is also Tom Brady at 40. He got the 40 during the Super Bowl season in 2020, and he got 43 the next season in 2021. Baker Mayfield's coming off of a 5-touchdown performance. So Baker is going to at least tie the second-place record with Tom Brady. There is a chance that Baker could be the Bucs' all-time single-season touchdown passing record holder when this game is all said and done. Will he get it? That might be a little bit tough, but I think he's going to at least take sole possession of second place, which means he has to throw for at least 2 touchdowns, and that's why I'm taking Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdown passes. I mean, they'll be able to throw it, they'll be able to run it, but when they get down to the red zone, they're going to want to get Mike the ball, and they're going to want to get Baker that record as well, or at least get into second place where he can stand alone at second place with Brady, who's going to be in the building. He's calling the game with Kevin Burkhardt. Brady will have to step down a little bit for second place, but he'll be fine if he's still in first place. Baker takes second place and then maybe gets first place if he truly balls out once again. But this is a guy that's thrown 5 touchdowns in a game. He's thrown 4 touchdowns in a game. It's very, very possible that Baker Mayfield could end up with 44 touchdowns on the regular season when it's all said and done. So take that as well. Baker over 1.5 touchdown passes. My touchdown prop of the week, this is all about Mike Evans. So even though the payout's not great of minus 167, it's Mike Evans anytime touchdown. Hopefully this is a celebratory game where the Bucs are up by a lot at halftime. Everybody can have a great time at Raymond James Stadium. They can celebrate in the third and fourth quarter as well, and the Bucs win the NFC South. I think it's going to be a great day. I don't think it's going to be very close at all, and all of these Bucs are going to ball out. So those are my picks for this week. Make sure you tail them. Make sure you enjoy Mike's greatness with some extra money. Do the same with Baker, wherever he ends up on the Bucs all-time passing list or touchdown passing single season record list. I'm excited for this game. You should be too. So that'll do it for today's show. Make sure you follow Pewter Report at Pewter Report. Make sure you follow me on X. It's Matty4_Matera. And then on Instagram, it is just Matty_Matera. So take out the 4. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you all. And let's win some money. Out.